Hi everyone, welcome to another fruitful discussion with Mrs. M. So for today we'll discuss about the Bureau of Fire Protection and the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. So the Bureau of Fire Protection and the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology was originally created under Republic Act 6975, otherwise known as the DILG Act of 1990, resulting to the creation of the Tri-Bureau. Though in my previous video, I've already mentioned and emphasized the three tri-bureaus, but let me repeat it again so that it would be easier for you to recall, just for in case you forgot it. So our tri-bureau here in the Philippines includes the Philippine National Police, BJMP, and your BFP. Now let's focus first on the Bureau of Fire Protection. So under Republic Act 6975, specifically Chapter 4, Sections 53 and 59, it mentioned that the Fire Bureau shall be responsible for the prevention and the suppression of all destructive fires, not only the buildings but including houses and other structures. So, meaning to say, other forms of buildings and structures are included, okay, within the scope of the Bureau of Fire or Fire Bureau, and also including the forest, the land transportation vehicles, and equipment. Yes, that is correct because our vehicles, four wheels, can also be subjected to fire. That is the reason why it is included. So for sure, if you do have your four wheels, okay, you know it already that it's very important to have your own fire extinguisher inside your car, just for in case a fire might start. Another thing, this also includes the ships, the vessels, the dock, the piers, okay, anchored in seaports, including the petroleum industry, the installation, the plane crashes, and other similar incidents. Okay, even during if there are bagyos, okay, that is still part of the responsibility of our BFP. Even sometimes if someone tries to commit suicide, it is still within the scope or jurisdiction of our Bureau of Fire Protection. Another thing, our BFP is also responsible for the enforcement of our fire code and other related laws. In particular, under Republic Act 1185, or otherwise known as the Fire Code of the Philippines. This was the first fire code in the country that was implemented by or enforced rather by our Fire Bureau. But then again, in December 19, 2008, it was repealed by Republic Act 9514. So our Republic Act 9514 is an act establishing a comprehensive fire code of the Philippines, repealing what? Repealing our Presidential Decree 1181. So when you say repealed, meaning to say it means that the previous law, in particular PD 1185, is no longer what's this it is no longer enforced. So just for in case that the Republic Act 9514 will be amended, then the amendment will not cover PD 1185 because the law itself has been repealed. Okay? So your RA 9514 is otherwise known as the Revised Fire Code of the Philippines of 2008. Moreover, since I was able to mention in the previous slides that your BFP was originally created under 6975, which also means that even if you are not a four-year degree course holder and you do not have a professional eligibility based on the qualifications stipulated under 6975, we can immediately drive into conclusion that is that the BJMP and PFP were not professionalized. So in order to improve PFP in particular, Republic Act 9263 of March 10, 2004 was then approved, resulting to the amendment of Chapter 4, which of Republic Act 6975, which created the BF. So its main purpose, of course, is to professionalize our PFP. But then again, you need to take note that RA 9263 did not only professionalize Chapter 4, which is the PFP, but it also professionalized your BJMP. So we need to say it's not only in terms with the program, okay, but the professionalization is also applicable by lifting, okay, the standards in terms with the recruitment process, or the, shall I say, the minimum qualification needed for aspiring jail officer and fire officer. So the Bureau of Fire Protection and our BJMP Professionalization Act of 2004. So as you can see in here, these are the mandates and functions of our B, BFP. So first, they are responsible for the prevention and suppression of all destructive fires. As what I have mentioned, it includes buildings, houses, and other structures. What are examples of other structures like malls, like what's this, like apartment? These are still part of the other structures. So aside from the buildings and other structures, forest is still covered within the responsibility or mandates of the BFP. So whenever there are wildfires, so automatic our BFP responds to it. Then the land transportation vehicle, its equipment, the ship, the vessel. So similarly, which I provided in the previous slide. Another, they are also responsible for the enforcement of the fire code, and they are also responsible for the investigation of all causes of fires, and if necessary, fire proper complaint with the city or provincial prosecutor who has jurisdiction over the case. So in terms with the filing of criminal action, this is normally applicable if it is not just a conflagration, but rather the fire itself is already considered as arson. Okay? Another, in the time of national emergency, all elements of the BFP shall, upon direction of the President, assist the armed forces of the Philippines in the meeting the national emergency. So, for sure, you were able to observe this in 2019 when the President has announced the COVID-19 pandemic. So, during checkpoints, we're able to observe that it's not only the Philippine National Police officers that were stand what's this on the streets, making sure that the people is not roaming around. So in order to strengthen, okay, its orders and the implementation, and to ensure that people are not roaming around. That is the reason why PFP were also assigned, okay, in the streets. And yeah, basically, they were also included. Another thing, shall establish at least one fire station with an adequate personnel, firefighting facilities, and equipment in every provincial capital city, municipal, subject to the standards and rules and the regulations as may be promulgated by law. So that is the reason why you will be able to observe that every city, every municipality has their own fire station. Another thing, Republic Act number 11589, otherwise known as the Bureau of Fire Protection Modernization Act in 2001, the BFP under this law shall coordinate with the DILG, establish and implement the BFP modernization program, which shall be geared towards the enhancement of the capability of its personnel and acquisition of the state-of-the-art fire prevention, fire suppression, even the fire investigation, as well as emergency, medical, and rescue facilities and equipment. That is the reason I have mentioned earlier that part of the mandates or responsibility of our fire officer is not only to respond when there are fires, okay, but when there are emergencies, like for example, a landslide, a bagyo, yun, ana. So these are the qualifications or standard of qualifications for fire officer one aspirant. First, this is open to all male and female applicant, and kinahanglan their age must not be less than 21 years old and must not be more than 30. So basically the same age requirement with the PNP. Another, must be at least 1.62 meters or 5'4" for male and 5'2" for female. But then again, because of the new law, okay, ang naitabo, this height requirement is no longer applicable because the new height requirement for the male is 5'2" and for the female, it's already 5 flat. Another, the same with the weight that your height, your age, your sex, okay, should correspond to your body mass index. Another must possess baccalaureate degree from a recognized learning institution, meaning to say these are institutions that are accredited by the Commission on Higher Education or CHED. So baccalaureate degree, meaning to say 4 years. So including criminology, BS criminology program, education, business, so on and so forth. But graduating in a 4-year degree is not enough because you need to have a professional eligibility. So you can take the civil service exam just for in case your 4-year course, like for example, if you're taking up business or HRM, which there is unfortunately no board examination. So, ang mahitabo, it would be better if they will take the civil service exam. But for graduates of BS Criminology, all you have to do is to pass the Criminology Board examination. Another thing, you can also use your PD 907, meaning to say this is a special form of civil service eligibility. This is what makes it special is that this will only be given to those graduates with Latin honors. Latin honors includes cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. Your Republic Act 1080 covers other board courses like sa nurse, if you are a registered nurse, if you are licensed, registered nurse, teacher, or bar passer. Okay, if you're a doctor, still covered there. Another is that the applicant must have a good moral character. And the same, they need to pass the neuro examination, they need to pass the medical examination, and the mental and the other physical examination. And they must not have been dishonorably discharged or dismissed for cause of the previous employment. So another, must not have been convicted by a final judgment of any offense and also offense involving moral turpitude. So, if you forgot what are one examples of crime involving moral turpitude, kindly watch our previous discussion. Okay, so I will provide in the description the link of our previous discussion of the previous video wherein I've provided examples of moral turpitude. Now let's proceed. If you are now inspired to join either BFP, BJMP, or the PNP. So now let's talk about the BJMP, or the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. So as what I've mentioned earlier, our BJMP is still part of the Tri-Bureau. So specifically, it was created under, stipulated under Chapter 5 of RA 6975, Section 60 to 65. So stipulated in Section 61 that the Jail Bureau shall exercise supervision and control over all city and municipal jails. So the provincial jails shall be supervised and controlled by the provincial government within its jurisdiction. Okay, so this is still under 6975. Pero karon lahin na because ang naitabo, the jurisdiction over provincial jails is already given to BJMP. Another, as what I've mentioned earlier, since our BJMP was originally created under 6975, so ang naitabo, it was then professionalized together with the BFP under RA 9263 in March 10, 2004. So these are the qualifications. So if you are interested, okay, to join the BJMP, so of course you need to be a Filipino citizen, natural born Filipino ha, not naturalized. Another, you need to have a good moral character. You need to pass the same, the drug test, psychiatric, and medical examination. You need to pass also the agility test. Okay, the applicant must be a bachelor's degree holder also. So same as what I've mentioned, tanan nga 4-year course, pwede. But then again, it's not enough. Ano man, you need, aside from having a professional eligibility, you need to pass the penology officer exam. Pero since RA 6506, okay, the board exam for criminologists has been amended by Republic Act 11131, ang nahitabo, okay, kung makapasar mo o criminology licensure examination or criminology board examination is exempted na mo to take ani. Meaning to say, automatic nakapasar na mo. Same with sa fire, there is no need for you to take the handwritten qualifying examination. Kay automatic under RA 11131, pasar na mo. Okay? So aside from that, no records of being dishonorably discharged from the government position or even in private employment. So the applicant must not have been convicted by a final judgment. Halos same ragyod sila o qualifications. And with the age, it's the same, not less than 21, not more than 30. With the height, okay, it should be 5'2" for male and 5 flat for female. And in terms with the weight, dapat it should correspond to your body mass index. So before I say good, all right, that's it. God bless, guys, and amping Uperte.